and we take a break for about 20 minutes from the live racing. But what we'll do is take a look back at one of the races from earlier on today, and it's round 8 of the F4 British Championship. They were in action out on the track just after one of the worst of the rain showers had passed through, and as a result they had a pretty challenging time. I'm watching it with Jade Edwards and Richard John Neal.
Here's how they line up for round 8 of the championship. Leo Robinson qualified 12th yesterday, so he starts on the partial reverse grid on pole with Yuamput Sway alongside. Mika Abrahams and Ella Lloyd on the second row, followed by Bart Harrison and Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Fourth row, James Higgins with Reza Seaworthen, Jack Sherwood and Joel Bergstrom on row 5. Deegan Fairclough on row 6 with the man who starts the next race on pole, Alex Ninovich. Martin Molnar is next up from Abby Pulling. Then Zach Skula and Max Dodds. Chloe Chong is next to Kai Darianani on row 9. Row 10, Nina Gateman and Alex Berg. The grid completed by August Raber and Yu Hao Fu. They are on. It is Leo Robinson and Yuamput Sway on pole position. It looks like they're all getting away reasonably well. Bart Harrison having a look to try and pass Ella Lloyd from 5th into 4th, but it's Sway that's got the lead as they go down from Robinson in 2nd position. And round the outside is that Ella Lloyd moving up into P2.
Yes, and what a start from the pole sitter there. He's already got a huge gap, but Ella getting her elbows out, trying to regain any position she's lost. I think she's dropped back slightly.
It's actually Abrahams, isn't it? Sorry, I called that wrong. Mika Abrahams made a blinding start there from 3rd on the grid, made it to the outside, so I think Ella's maybe lost one place, but Sway, who is the rookie championship leader for this year, and the Mercedes junior driver is out front. Big opportunity for him to win his first race here.
Absolutely, and these conditions, you see the car moving around. They've had some wetter sessions over the weekend, but this is by far the wettest race they've had. So we've got a spinner off as well there. So tricky conditions, and that's a shame to see him go off. He's been doing really well so far this season.
There's Seaworthen, yeah, very quick yesterday, managed to make up a few places, and he'll have to do some more now as we get the battle on for 5th position. The black, red and yellow Chris Dittman car coming under pressure from James Higgins in number 18. James was actually the pole sitter yesterday, but had the lap taken away after going through a yellow flag infringement. There was about 5 drivers did the same thing, so James, I think, will be frustrated with that, but knows he's got the pace around here. It wasn't as if it was a... Oh, hang on, here we go, another change going on. That's the 22 car of Joel Robinson, who started on pole position. In the background, a little bit earlier around that lap, we saw Abby Pulling make a move on Joel Bergstrom. Joel was top rookie yesterday, so Abby Pulling making a bit of progress as well through the field, looking to build on her experience of taking her first win, that history-making win that we saw at Brands Hatch.
Absolutely, I just want to make a... Oh, we've had one just off here.
It's Chloe Chong.
That is just proving how difficult these conditions are. One little mistake, she's just trying to make a move by the looks of it, outbraked herself slightly, hits one
tagged,
of... Yeah, got tagged there by another driver, which is unfortunate, complete victim of that move.
Yeah, it was Rez, I think, that just went into the back. Chloe, a driver's done a little bit of karting, but again, big learning experience for all the drivers that are sort of running in the rookie category and starting their careers off. But this is super stuff, side by side here with Joel Robinson and Alex Ninovich. And Ninovich here is really impressing me. He's Antipodean driver with Rodin. They had their own sort of approach to qualifying yesterday. Everybody else went out pretty much one by one. Then there was a gap, and all 4 Rodin cars went out, found their own space on the track. It's a 3-mile track, so there is space, but they made doubly sure of it.
Absolutely, and here as well is a huge gain from slipstreaming and getting the toe. So if you can get a gap and get the toe, you're on for a good lap time.
Absolutely right, and that's what they'll be looking for here as they now come on to the Bentley Straight, used to be known as the Revit Straight, and gives everyone a bit of a break. They've got to concentrate a little bit harder than usual with all the spray. Bart Harrison, though, really impressing me with his 3rd place at the moment in the red, black and yellow 77 car. We've got that's got to be Rowan Campbell-Pilling, I think, who has gone off, because if not, it's the leader, Sway, but I don't think Yuamput is having any issues at the moment. He's 5 seconds clear of Mika Abrahams out front at the moment, but some great dicing going all the way down the order. James Higgins there with the blue trim Rodin car. The other thing I like to look at, Jade, and as you do in Formula 1, we look and see which teammates get the most wins against each other. You don't have to do that as much in F4 because we're all in the same car, but it's interesting, like the likes of Rodin and High Tech and people like that, all of the drivers have beaten each other at some stage in this very early stage of the season. The teams are very competitive as well as the overall championship.
Absolutely, and also within the teams itself, you will want to be the first driver of that team. So even if maybe your team as a whole is struggling a little bit with setup, you want to be #1 of that team to really put your stomp on the championship.
Higgins and Robinson going almost wheel to wheel. Ninovic goes a little bit wide. There is Deegan Fairclough in the 7 at the back of shot. Ninovic around the outside, could get hang out to dry. His teammate Higgins goes on the inside. Rowan Campbell-Billing still playing around with the grass and having some problems. Rowan, remember, first year car driver coming up from karts, a major name from karting, and just having a little bit of a struggle, but that's what the first season's going to be all about for him. There's Jack Sherwood in the 78. Called by his dad's name yesterday to myself, as I frequently do, but Justin racing in the Carrera Cup. I think he's got a weekend off as we have Sprint Challenge with us this weekend. Settling down now, unbelievably, virtually halfway through the race.
Absolutely, but there's still little moves just to show that they're there. One thing that's impressing me is they're running so close with all of this spray, and they're driving very well. There's a little move just being made there. What a great move if he can get it done.
James Higgins through the car down the inside, but this is the outside for Palmer, but he's got momentum and gets it, but carries too much speed. Opposite lot, over the grass, spins around, he's out of it. Robinson's out of it as well. Oh, goodness me, 3 or 4 of them. How much is it in terms of wet weather? How much do you follow other people? Because if they make a mistake and you're following, you can do the same.
Absolutely, but here what the drivers will be seeing is that there's an opportunity happening. So they've seen the 2 cars go off, and it looked like, if we looked at the back of the shot, there was a battle going on before as well, which meant the other cars have followed through as well. So yeah, it's an element of knowing where your confidence is, but also not want to losing too much time to the others around you. So yeah, if one's brake late and locked up, it's likely that maybe someone around in that pack will do the same.
I was rather cynically saying it before the race started, Jade, as you know, that we were going to get a safety car in this. We haven't had one so far, and we're at half distance, so the drivers have exceeded my expectation and driving well. We are seeing the odd little mistake, and that's understandable as we catch up on Abby Pudding, who's making up some good places now by keeping it on track. Sway still out front, Abraham's 5.8 seconds down, and then Harrison. There is Jan-Put Sway. This is going to be great for him to grab his first win. We've seen him in terms of qualifying up with the top drivers at Donington Park. He wasn't far away from being fastest in the fastest off the front race, but now this is a super opportunity to get some. That's one of the XL cars. That is Zach Skula, the young Aussie who clouts the barrier. That might be our first safety car.
There's your safety car, Richard. Yeah, that again, it's just an example of these conditions. You make one little error, you brake a metre later, you turn in a little later. It's as easy as that. Once you're on the grass, you're a passenger. You're not being in control of that car at all. So, you know, they're driving really well. There's been a brilliant race so far already, but a lot of action. Yeah, little lock up into turn 1 there. You can see his arms trying to fight it, trying to get it turned in, but as soon as he touches that grass, he is a passenger. Nothing that he can do from that point. Arms off the steering wheel. Yeah, all okay, but yeah, likely a safety car. Sway here is already gone by the looks of it, and if he can just get that start that he did at the start of the race, he's already got a gap. What an amazing restart from Sway.
And Deegan Fairclough stuck his nose out of the spray and out of the tow to have a look at the number 7 car. Let's have a look to see whether Abrahams will want to have a go. Got a challenge on. Well, look at that, Jack Sherwood up into 3rd place at the expense of Bart Harrison. He needed to do that. Harrison here, I think, is going to get mugged as well by Deegan Fairclough, who's coming through in the 7 car. As we look at it, screen left, let's see whether Deegan could go through. Bart's on the outside. Big shame for Bart Harrison that we had the safety car, but you know, learning his trade with Chris Dittman Racing. So it's Sway from Abrahams now. Fairclough, who'd have thought Fairclough was going to get a potential podium here? Might be one in the offering for Abby Pudding in car 9 as well.
Absolutely, we just saw as well Harrison, he had a drift through turn 1 which set him back, and he's now slightly on the back foot, but looks like he's trying to move back through. But Deegan, as we always know, he's always going to fight through, and he's always a risk factor if he's near you under safety car for sure. Yeah, a car going off again at turn 1 there. Unfortunate, but yeah, these conditions, as I say, are very tricky.
It's Alex Berg, who, not having the best of meetings here, really struggled in qualifying with Forte. I was listening to his team boss Richard Dean yesterday on the circuit PA, saying that he's got a lot of pressure on him, a lot of sponsors here this weekend, and just one that he's going to maybe have to draw a line under and come back. He's got another chance later on, of course, in race 3, but issues here as Sway goes down the straight leading. There's Jack Sherwood in the 70. There is Sway, comes back into shot. And well, Abrahams has lost second, so what's happened to Mika?
Not sure, they seem to be battling, but I had to check the timing screen there just to see if Sway was still leading. He's already built a gap of, you know, a huge gap on this leading lap after the safety car. He's putting in an amazing performance. He's really getting his head down and just hitting his markers and not making any mistakes. I'm super impressed. Yeah,
really good performance by Sway out front, looking for his first win. There is Deegan Fairclough, who I think is now actually on the podium. Ninovic has got the fastest lap there in car number 12. He's up into 7th place, chasing Abby Pulling. Oh, and that's Mika Abrahams, gets tagged by Bart Harrison in the 77. Well, Bart was on for another podium in the rookie category, not the win, because that's with Sway. Good avoidance driving there, could have been a lot worse. Now, those cars going to, is that going to necessitate a safety or a red? But we're on the last lap anyway, timing-wise. Let's have a look and see what happened.
For me, it's a tricky place to overtake, even in the dry conditions. So that it was a brave move in the wet, whether he maybe misjudged his braking point and had nowhere else to go but the inside just to try. But a little bit clumsy from my side, but both cars get back going and the race carries on.
Yeah, lots of points lost out, unfortunately. We had a similar thing in the Fiesta Juniors last weekend. Wound up in a rollover with the sausage curb as well, unfortunately. Those guys, of course, were off the sausage curb here. So we watched Ninovic there from Pulling. And then Joel Bergstrom, who's actually second in the rookie category, and Nina Gaidman is third in the rookies. We're going to see a potential first rookie podium for Nina Gaidman, the young Dutch driver. That's going to be impressive to see as we watch the 78 car running well. Jack Sherwood in P2, he's going to be pleased with this one. Sway still out front. Fairclough has come through, got virtually maximum points in this one because you get points in the reverse grid race for places gained up to a maximum of 10.
Absolutely, and I just want to make a point of Abby Pulling as well. She started P14, now up to 5th. She did really well in Friday testing. She had really good pace, but struggled a little bit yesterday. But she's coming back through the field, and that's where this experience comes into play. You know, she's racing a lot, she's racing abroad, she's used to these sorts of cars, and she's just not made an error, and she's just picked her way off, and she's now running just outside of podium position in P5.
Yeah, she's running well. Joel Boggs behind her. Then Robinson Kai Darinani's up to 8th place. And great to see Kai getting some good laps under his belt. Dan Wells, his team coach, who I think you know reasonably. You give each other some stick?
Well, yeah, we I think it's done in a nice way. But I asked him a little bit of information. He gave me a full life story of everything. So I can't really off in one race, unfortunately.
So Yuanput Sway is there, and he's coming across the grid line here, up the centre straight, and we'll see the checkered flag to take his first win, an historic moment again in the reverse grid racing here. Sway, like Abby Pulling, capable of winning fastest off the front, but he'll again be happy to have won the reverse grid race. The Chinese driver wins. Jack Sherwood second, Deegan Fairclough in third. So here's how they finish. A maiden win for Yuanput Sway from Jack Sherwood, and Deegan Fairclough completing the podium. Alex Ninovic in 4th from Abby Pulling. Joel Bergstrom 6th from Leo Robinson and Kai Darinani. Ella Lloyd in 9th from Reza Seaworthen. That wraps up our top 10. 11th goes to Max Dodds. Good drive from him. And Rowan Campbell-Pilling recovering well too.